5 minutes after 11 o'clock and raining here at the studios of WOCA The Source, also located in the Paddock Mall. Do you remember September 11th, 2001? I'm sure you do. Do you remember this story? There was a story that day or the next day, I don't know when we would have heard the story, about a Catholic priest. He was a chaplain at the New York City Fire Department. His name was Michael Judge. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his first name right, or if it's Michael, Judge Michael. He was a priest, and he was asked by Rudy Giuliani, the mayor of the city at the time, to go pray for the city and its victims, and he rushed down to be with them. Father Judge did. And he administered the last rites to some of the bodies that were already lying on the streets. The buildings had not collapsed yet at that point. He entered the lobby of the World Trade Center North Tower, and he ended up dying of a heart attack. He was a much, much beloved. He's one of the first casualties, although not the first, but very beloved. And when they showed the services for him, I remember these firefighters were lined up for, I mean, it looked like miles. Maybe that's exaggerating, but for blocks for sure. And the one thing that came out about him was that he was gay. And when I thought about it, I thought, well, wait a minute, he's a priest. Priests take a vow of celibacy, and yet he identified as being gay. And it wasn't a secret. All of the firefighters knew that Father Judge was gay, but celibate. Which means that had he not chosen the priesthood as a line of work, or as his life, he would have, he probably was attracted to men anyway. I'm guessing that that's just the way it is. I don't know. I don't really know. Our next guest is also a man of God, and happens to be a musician as well. Tim Rymel is on the phone. In his case, it sounds like, and he's going to clear this up, but when he was a very young man at 22, he tried to commit suicide because he was gay and didn't know how to undo it. Rather than accepting it, as we're learning now, is perhaps the best way to live a healthy life. But you often will hear that somebody's a man of God and is gay, and then there'll suddenly be a controversy about that statement. And there's many stories. We have guests asking to be on the air, and we allow them when we have time and when it seems to fit, who will tell us that you can make somebody straight. And we've had people who said that it happened for them. Everybody's got their own story. And the last thing I want to hear is another person committing suicide. So, live and let live is how I look at it. Tim Rymel, good morning. Oh, his book is called Going Gay, My Journey from Evangelical Christian Minister to Self-Acceptance, Love, Life, and Meaning. Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Good morning, Larry. Good, thank you.
And where are you? Where are you calling from?
I am in Sacramento, California.
How long ago were you 22? I'm trying to figure out how old you are, in other words.
Seems like forever. I'm 49 right now, so
okay.
back in the 90s, 80s.
Okay, and are you still preaching? What do you call it? Practicing? Are you still a minister?
I am technically still a minister. Yes, I don't use it. The last wedding I did though was last year, so occasionally.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me your story. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Just tell me what's the book about.
So the book is about my journey growing up in the evangelical faith. I was raised under the Pentecostal faith. My grandfather was a Pentecostal preacher. My father was working in ministry. So I kind of grew up into the faith, and I became a Christian when I was 15 years old. But homosexuality was just a part of my being, and I think there's a misconception to as soon as we say the word gay, we think sex rather than thinking sexual orientation. So whether you act on it or not, you can be gay and celibate.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, and maybe that's what the Father Judge story kind of taught us all. But at the same time, we're only human. It's hard for us to understand things sometimes.
Yeah, and again, I think there's a misconception, especially in the conservative world, is that as soon as someone says gay, they immediately go to sex. But if you think of a heterosexual, you don't immediately think of sex. You just think of a person. So it's the same. It's exactly the same. My life does not revolve around sex. It did when I was 15. But I think
15?
That's pretty typical.
You beat me. I was a late guy. I was late. Yeah.
One of the interesting stories is that you did marry, and you yourself have 2 children.
Right. Yes. Who are both straight.
Mm-hmm. You married a woman?
So, I married a woman. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. All right. But this is hard because, I mean, you know what? You're speaking to a lot of people who are in the same boat. There's a 22-year-old out there right now, and I hope he or she does not commit suicide. So that's why I think your story is important.
And unfortunately, we've politicized this idea of homosexuality, and it's not a political issue; it's a human issue. And in my travels and my studies and all the things that I've done, it's homosexuality, heterosexuality, or just a wide range of sexuality, orientation, gender. Those things are very, very diverse in the human population. And unfortunately, we have made this political, and we've divided along those lines and said, well, gay people are this way and straight people are this way.
Right.
And that's not at all the case. Again, I was in the ministry for 25 years. I was in the black church. I was in the white church as a musician. And it crosses all bounds. I've seen people who were pastors that were gay. I've seen people who were not, were not pastors. It crosses all of these, social economic areas of our lives. So I went to Love in Action, which was an ex-gay ministry, and I heard you say that you had people on that talked about not being gay. And I was there. I was in the ministry for 5 years. We traveled all over the country. We were on shows like Oprah Winfrey, Sally Jesse Raphael, Jerry Springer Show. And so we were talking about what it was like to deal with this issue in our lives and submit our sexuality to God, and that God was continuing to change us. Through that process, not only have I gone through this process, but our executive director, John Smid, was in it for 22 years. John Paulk and his wife, Ann Paulk, became the poster children for the ex-gay movement. Both of the Johns have since come back and renounced it and said, no, we were wrong. We did not change. And in fact, John Smid, 22 years in the ministry, said, I've never seen anybody change their sexual orientation. So, having what we do is we grab this idea and say, oh, well, it's wrong. It needs to be changed. It needs to be fixed. And we're understanding now more about sexuality is that it's not something that can be fixed, nor does it need to be fixed. A lot of what happens with people that are struggling is that we are shamed by society. We're especially shamed in the church because people can't put this concept of can you believe in God and still be a Christian. So what we need to deal with is the shame.
Can you believe in God and still be a Christian? You mean can you be gay and still be a Christian?
Of course you can. You can. I mean,
no, but I'm just wondering if you said something in error right there. You said people wonder if you can believe in God and still be a Christian.
Oh, I'm sorry. So if you believe in God and be gay, can you believe in God and be gay?
Right. Okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm. Can you stay longer? I mean, our thing says you wrap it up at 15. Can you go beyond that?
Sure.
Okay. Well, good, because we need to take a break, and I'd love to continue talking to you if you can do it.
Sure.
Okay. Well, and I guess the one thing I wanted to say is that if we're going to be totally honest, we are attracted to all people, but we're not sexually attracted to all people. If you're straight, you are sexually attracted to some of the opposite sex. I'm not attracted to every woman. Mm-hmm. But once in a while there'll be one that walks past the window.
Right, exactly.
But at the same time, I'm not gay at all. But I have found some guys to be fun to be around, and that's a sort of attraction, or who've impressed me with just their demeanor or something, and that's a sort of attraction. But there's not a sexual attraction. So it makes sense that we would think of a gay person or a heterosexual person as that kind of defines where your eyes go, I guess. I don't know. I mean, does it stop once you have your life partner? Because it doesn't happen for heterosexuals. I mean, we turn our heads all the time.
Yeah.
I was going to say, does it stop for you? No, it's exactly the same. And it's interesting that you say that because this term of homosexuality didn't even exist until the late 1800s. So this concept that we have of straight and gay and bi and all of these things, that is relatively new. That didn't exist until the late 1800s. We didn't even begin to research it until the early 1900s.
Let me just ask you to just put everything on hold just for about 3 minutes because we have to take a weather break and a couple of commercials, and we'll be right back. Tim Rymel is our guest. I can't wait to hear more. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunshine mixing with clouds today with a couple of thunderstorms around this afternoon. The high 88 to 92. Then partly cloudy tonight with a thunderstorm around early on near the coast. Low 73 to 77. Partly sunny tomorrow with a couple of thunderstorms popping up in the afternoon. High 86 to 90. And for Saturday, times of sun and clouds, a couple of showers and a thunderstorm mainly in the afternoon. The high 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, Robin. You look tired.
I am. I've been running all over town.
Why? Why not drive?
I need to get this stupid document notarized.
Oh, that's easy. You need personal service.
Duh. That's what I've been looking for.
You need to go see Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can notarize that for you, make copies, fax it wherever, or send it out in the mail. Heck, he can even scan it and email it for you.
Really? Where is he at?
2375 Northeast 25th Avenue, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. You can call him at 789-6683.
Personal Service Center. Thanks, Larry.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
All right, thank you. 18 minutes after 11 o'clock, Tim Rymel is on hold waiting to go back on the air with us. He is a minister, a musician. We didn't talk about his music yet. I hope we can squeeze that in somewhere. And he's written a book called Going Gay, My Journey from Evangelical Christian Minister to Self-Acceptance, Love, Life, and Meaning. During the break, I went to his website, which is timrymel.com. His last name is spelled Rymel, timrymel.com. And Tim, thank you for agreeing to be with us for the second half of this half hour.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
You know what occurred to me is that I'm reading the thing that you have on the very first page of your website, and this is what you wrote. You wrote, "It's difficult to love people when we see them as an ideology, a false doctrine, or a lifestyle. They cease becoming people for whom Christ commanded compassion and become political fodder, which must be debated, voted on, and controlled." That's an awesome thing to say, and it applies to so many things. I hate titles. No. I'm sorry. I hate labels. The only labels that should apply are you a baker? Yes, I am. Good. Then you can make me a cake. Are you a carpenter? Yes. Well, good. Then you can build me a staircase. Any other label doesn't even seem necessary to me. I've thought this for a long time. I mean, who cares? What difference is it if anybody's who I love?
Right, and the thing with labels is that using a label helps us to categorize and compartmentalize people, and we put them into race, religion, sex orientation, and when we do that, then it allows us to make assumptions and to judge, but doing that is safe. And when we do that, we lock people in a box, we lock ourselves in a box, and we say, this is who or what I am, and this is who or what you are. So it never causes us to go beyond the surface. It never causes us to go beyond the label. So, and I think we have an entire country that has gotten into this process of labeling people instead of stopping, learning about them, showing compassion, and treating each other as human beings.
You know, this whole thing in the state of Florida, where I guess all the states are doing this right now, trying to figure out whether gay marriage should be legalized or not. And let me tell you what I think about this, and you might not agree with this. But A, I don't think that the states or the federal government should have anything to do with it. I think marriage should be a decision between two people and God. And if you don't believe in God, then I guess just two people. And I think the churches should be free to either permit it or to not permit it. I think each church individually should be able to say, you know what, we don't do that, but you can go down the road because they do that. And I don't think the state should be mandating that you do it or don't do it, because I think the whole idea of freedom is that you can practice your religion as you see fit. What is your response to that?
I agree with that. I think that as far as marriage is concerned, that is a church institution. It always has been a church institution, and I agree that people should be able to make the choice. Where we are in this country, however, is that we have said this group of people can have this set of rights, this group of people cannot. So now it's divided to where some states are allowing it, some states are not. I think what should happen is that we should call it just a civil union for everybody, and then leave this idea of marriage to the churches, who can then choose to decide who they want to marry or who they don't want to marry. So everybody has, at least it's treated on the same.
Right. And the thing I think that should be done away with is this idea that if you, and I'm not trying to be personal, but do you have a male partner?
Yes.
Okay. So if your male partner is in the hospital, God forbid, and you're not recognized as his partner, as his spouse, whatever, then some states won't allow you to go into the hospital to see him. That's crazy. Right. That is ridiculous. That person should be able to say, when I'm sick and I'm on my deathbed, I want this. These are the people. Not just one. You shouldn't just have one anyway. You should be able to say who you want to have be able to come see you.
Right.
Your personal story also is intriguing about you and your relationship with your wife. It seems like she was the one that wanted to dissolve the marriage in the first place, because you point out she was spending more and more nights away, and you had to explain to your young children why she wasn't home.
Yeah, and our relationship has changed significantly. You know, I actually went back to her, and I told her that I appreciated the fact that she left early, because I later on, as other friends of mine came out and their children were older, it became much uglier for them, their relationships and their families. So even though at the time it turned my world upside down and I was angry, and you read in the church or in the book that I blamed her for a lot of what went on, but the reality was, I think she saw it early, and I think she said, there's just this wall between us that's never going to be crossed, and because the kids are so young, this is a good time to exit out and let him deal with what he needs to deal with. And it was actually a pastor that told her it will be 7 years before he comes to terms with this. And it was exactly 7 years before I finally came to terms with who I was and what all of this meant.
So she knew you were gay?
She knew I was gay, and she did when we got married, but we were in the ex-gay ministry. So being ex-gay in the church was, he's ex-gay, and look what God is doing in his life. God is blessing his life. God is going to bless the family.
Right.
And so you go out there with, again, we were in the media, we were traveling, and so that was the persona that we had, but the reality of where we were was quite different than that. And not that we didn't believe it. We really wanted to believe that this was going to be, that God would continue to change our lives.
Okay.
But reality set in.
And I know you kind of shied away from the sex earlier, but I have to ask this. So is it possible that your marriage was, you were having issues because you're gay? I mean, were you enjoying being with her physically?
It wasn't the physical part. Again, guys, I mean, you know how we are. It wasn't the physical part of that. The issue is the emotional part of that. It's what I call romantic attachment. I know, like you, I mean, I'm attracted to other people. I'm actually attracted to women on some level. But having a romantic, deep, intimate connection with a woman is not in my makeup. I'm not able to do that. And even though I love my wife, and I really love her.
Well, but I'm saying maybe that's why the marriage didn't work out. You were forcing yourself to live a life that wasn't you.
Right. And some people can make that. You've talked about having people on the show that call themselves ex-gay. I mean, again, right. I've seen that. I have yet to meet somebody who...
Well, that was you, though. I mean, if we had you on the show during those years, you would have been saying the same thing.
Exactly the same thing.
You bring up the words reparative therapy and how that really it doesn't work, that people should be their own self?
Well, so I don't want to say, so here's the thing with reparative therapy. I'm kind of treading on water here because I don't want to. I know that there's a group of people, and I know some of those are my friends that are out there, touting reparative therapy. The reality is reparative therapy does not work, and we have lots and lots of research to show that it doesn't work. And I don't have a problem with somebody saying, I'm gay, but I choose to be celibate, or I choose to be with the opposite sex because of my faith or my religion. That's absolutely up to them. It's a free country. They can do that. Where I have an issue is two things. Number one is to say that you're gay or that you're not gay, to say that you have changed, because there's no research that shows that anybody has changed. And secondly is to say we're going to use reparative therapy on youth, because youth are at that time where they're going through the developmental stage, and rather than being shamed into something that they're not, let them be who they are. If you want to say, yes, youth, give them a choice, well, then also give them the choice to be who they are, because when they talk about choice, the choice that they want is to force them to be something else.
Oh my gosh! Insightful you are.
So what do you think about the parades and all that? Sometimes, I'm with you 100%. But what I do have a hard time, like the parades around Orlando, the big rainbow parades and all that. It's like, why are you doing that? I mean, why are you doing? I mean, I don't do that. I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be who I am. I don't need a parade.
Yeah.
So this is a discussion in the gay community. And, again, coming from the conservative right, I was just horrified. I actually went to my first parade in 2008, and I was horrified because I thought they wouldn't let straight people get away with this. And we do have these discussions among gay men. I actually belong to a group on the Sacramento Gay Men, and we had this long discussion online about, do we really need this at this point? Part of it is they will say this has been our culture. We've had this for years. And then there's the other segment who says we don't need this anymore. We've found acceptance. Not that it's not that we don't need the gay pride, but some of the things that go on in the gay pride parades. Personally, I don't think it's necessary. I would not bring my children to something like that. I don't even go myself. Unfortunately, I think it's just part of a culture.
and the thing about making out at Disney World, I mean, that was another thing that I don't want to see a man and a woman making out in Disney World.
Yeah.
Jeez. Do you think there's more anti-gay sentiment toward gay men than there is toward gay women?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you think about. If you think about, two lesbians together, men are not really turned off by that. Straight men don't have a problem with that.
Right.
But if it goes the other way, then we have a problem. So definitely there.
Right, so you know who I'm really thinking about with your book and with your message is the parent of a child who has come forward and said, Dad, Mom, I'm gay. That right there, that moment right there, that's the person who needs to hear your message, I think, who will be helped by your message or something. Well, you are pretty brave to do this, Tim. I don't know what kind of reception you're getting from other radio hosts, but I want you to know that we appreciate your interview with us and definitely appreciate the fact that you doubled it.
And you're so insightful, too. We really like that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys having me.
The book is here. I have a copy of it. If I have a listener who wants it, you can call me and I'll leave your name on it. It'll be waiting for you, and we'll put it in a brown bag for you. Just a joke.
I really liked the way you used the music, though, to try to.
Oh yeah, what do you play? What's your music? What do you do?
So I was a gospel musician. I played keyboards and sang for many, many years. Lost my voice about 10 years ago, but we played all over black churches, played around the country, with choirs and different things. So
really?
It was a good time. Yeah.
Well, the cover, you look like a black man, and on your website you look like a white man. I don't know if that.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of look like Obama on the cover of your book. So.
From the back.
Tim, from the back. I know, from the back. Yeah.
That's a model. That's a model.
Oh, that's not you?
Yeah, no, that's not me.
Oh,
no,
well, you're a good-looking guy, and I'm not gay. I'm just telling you. I'm looking at your picture on the thing here. Tim, thank you for being on the air with us today. The website again, timrymel.com, TIMRYMEL. Is it on Amazon?
It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. They can also go to goinggay.net. And I always want to say .net because if you do .com, you're going to go gay a lot faster than you plan to. So goinggay.net.
Oh,
okay.
I'm not going there. No way. I don't. All right.
.net.
Tim, thank you.
.net.
Thank you for being on the air with us. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
All right. Thank you so much.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. A U.S.-led humanitarian airlift for refugees in Iraq said to be unlikely after a visit from a special ops team.
Pentagon also credited efforts of Kurdish fighters and the ability of thousands of Yazidis to escape on their own. But no matter what happens, the Obama administration says U.S. troops will not engage in combat in Iraq.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. The latest snapshot of our economy just out.
311,000 Americans file new claims for unemployment benefits in the new numbers covering last week. That is 21,000 more applications than were filed the week before.
Fox Radio's Steve Taylor. Average U.S. 30-year mortgage rate slipping to 4.12%. And a 4-month playing ban has been upheld against the soccer player from Uruguay who bit an Italian team member during a World Cup game, although the Court of Arbitration for Sport says Luis Suarez will be allowed to train with his new club, Barcelona. Fox News. We report, you decide.
They say every healthy relationship should have a balance of predictability and spontaneity. In fact, it is that assurance of security that makes the spontaneous possible. Your relationship with your car should be a little like that too. With our new industry-leading unlimited mileage warranty, your certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz instills a sense of confidence. You drive away knowing that you can keep driving for up to 3 years and never have to worry about the miles. Add to that our new complimentary prepaid maintenance on select models, and your certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz becomes the ultimate carefree escape vehicle. Only during the Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales event, going on now through September 2nd, can you also take advantage of a 2-month payment credit on many models, plus 3 months of Sirius XM satellite radio. So hurry in today. It might just be the most predictable, spur-of-the-moment decision you've ever made.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
All right, have a little technical problem happening right there. We just need to reboot that computer, and we'll take care of that. Yeah, on the phone is our good friend Ronnie, and I was just saying hi to him. Ronnie, we've got to do a radio show right now, so I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, and come by and say hi one day. All right.
I will.
Right.
I'll get on the city bus.
All right. Good. Great.
In the morning.
All right, and you know we're at the mall now, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ronnie. Good to hear from you. Well, that was a very interesting morning, don't you think? We had some interesting guests, and the last one, I'll be honest with you, was a little bit uncomfortable for me. I don't know what that says about me, but it was a little bit uncomfortable. Was it uncomfortable at all for you, Ronnie?
Not too much, though.
See, women don't care. You don't care.
Not too much. I mean, I thought he was very insightful in everything he was saying and bringing up the problems, because we have this discussion in our church a lot, and I can't understand why people just won't accept everybody. But it's different when you're talking to people in the church. They have this dilemma: should I be friends or not? But I say, be friends. Go for it.
So many issues in the world, huh?
Yeah, exactly. We can only tackle one at a time, and all that horrendous stuff that's out there should be in the forefront, and not this kind of stuff.
All right, looks like the computer is working again, so we'll take a little break, and in a little while, just about 10 minutes or so, Dan will be in here, Dan Martone, sitting in for Joe Martone, so that we can have fun with Dan on Fun with Joe.
Yeah, that'll be
And today the topic is a tough one. I took this test myself this morning and failed it miserably. So you'll need some help from the listeners. Things that are named after people. They're
Yeah.
called eponyms. Those are called eponyms.
I learned a new word.
We'll do that when we come back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunshine mixing with clouds today with a couple of thunderstorms around this afternoon. The high 88 to 92. Then partly cloudy tonight with a thunderstorm around early on near the coast. Low 73 to 77. Partly sunny tomorrow with a couple of thunderstorms popping up in the afternoon. High 86 to 90. And for Saturday, times of sun and clouds, a couple of showers and a thunderstorm mainly in the afternoon. The high 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Here are today's headlines from the source WOCA. Internet giants Google and Yahoo must disclose who established several email accounts held by Governor Rick Scott along with his current and former employees as part of a lawsuit pending in Tallahassee that claims the governor routinely circumvented the state's open records law, a court ruled yesterday. Tallahassee Circuit Court Judge Charles A. Francis ordered the companies to respond to a limited request by lawyer Stephen R. Andrews to explain who created the Gmail and Yahoo accounts and when they were established. Andrews is suing Scott and Attorney General Pam Bondi over whether they hid records related to a dispute between him and the governor's office over property the governor wanted to buy to create a legacy park. Office Depot could receive up to $5 million in new economic incentives from the state of Florida and local governments for keeping its headquarters and jobs here in the state. Office Depot announced in December that it would keep its headquarters in Boca Raton, but the amount of the total incentive package had been kept a secret. The details were included in a staff recommendation to the Palm Beach County Commission in its August 19th agenda. An amended agreement with Office Depot requires the office supply retailer to create 378 jobs and retain 2,328 jobs over 5 years, according to the staff recommendation. Of the total, $3 million will come from Governor Rick Scott's Quick Action Closing Fund, used to sway employers considering other states. This is the second grant from the secretive multi-million-dollar Governor's Fund. In 2006, Office Depot received a $2.7 million grant under former Governor Charlie Crist. Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi said the federal government is going overboard with proposed regulations to link electronic cigarettes, cigars, and other tobacco products to the same rules as the cigarette industry. Bondi wrote in a letter that she wants the Food and Drug Administration to consider the potential impact of the announced rule changes on Ybor City cigar manufacturer J.C. Newman Cigar, urging the federal agency to more narrowly tailor these overboard regulations. J.C. Newman is the lone survivor of Tampa's cigar industry, which dates to the 1890s. Bondi joins other Florida elected officials in saying any new laws targeting mass production should exempt a specialty company like J.C. Newman. U.S. Senator Bill Nelson, who was a Democrat from Florida, and U.S. Senator Marco Rubio, a Republican from Florida, have also requested an exemption to the new rules. FDA is already considering an exemption for premium cigars that are handmade, but J.C. Newman uses vintage machines to make their cigars, and therefore they are ineligible. Open auditions for the youth production The Spoon River Project will be held on Monday, September 8th and Tuesday, September 9th at 5 p.m. at the Ocala Civic Theater in this beautifully haunting play by Tom Andalora, based on Edgar Lee Masters' book Spoon River Anthology. The former residents of Spoon River examine life and the longing for what might have been. As the citizens reflect on the dreams, secrets, and regrets of their lives, they paint a gritty and honest portrait of the town as all of their pasts are illuminated. Students between the ages of 12 and 18 are invited to audition. Roles are available for a minimum of 11 actors, 6 men and 5 women. Auditioning students should prepare a 1-minute classical monologue. Poems from Spoon River Anthology are preferred, and a short song to be sung a cappella. It is only necessary to audition one night. Rehearsals will be held September 15th through October 21st, Monday through Friday, from 4:30 till 7 p.m. Rehearsals on October 20th and 21st will go until 8 p.m. And those are the headlines from the source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.